to master the yellow belt, you must be able to play and identify the notes C, D, E, F, and G on the staff. You must also be able to use the correct fingers with the right hand when playing the notes. C should be played with finger 1 or your thumb. D should be played with finger 2 or your pointer finger. E should be played with finger 3 or your middle finger. F should be finger 4 or your ring finger. G should be played with finger 5 or your pinky. In this video, we are going to review the first 3 characters in our story, Mr. Everybody's Musical Apartment, and then learn the rest of the characters. Let's begin. Mr. Everybody is this cute little old man who lives in this apartment building, and he owns the apartment building. Now remember, Mr. Everybody lives on the first floor because... if you said because he's too old to carry his groceries up the stairs, you are correct. Mr. Everybody's apartment doesn't have an elevator, only stairs, so that's why he needs to live on the bottom floor. Now, Mr. Everybody has 2 pets that live in the basement. They live in the basement because they're too sassy to live in his apartment. His pets are Crazy Cat and Dumb Dog. Now, they live in the basement, and Mr. Everybody has this clothesline that he hangs his clothes up to dry. Crazy Cat got her name because she loves to play on the clothesline all day long. She runs, she jumps, and plays. Now, she's able to stay on the clothesline all day because she has amazing cat balance and never falls off. Dumb Dog, on the other hand, he got his name because he just wants to play with Crazy Cat. So he tries to jump on the clothesline but bounces off, hits his head on the ceiling, and back down he goes. And he does this all day long. He doesn't realize that his balance is not like a cat, so he just continues to hit his head over and over throughout the whole day. And that's how he got his name. In the previous video, we also reviewed what a staff is. A staff is 5 lines and 4 spaces where we put our music notes in order for musicians to read and know what to play on an instrument or to sing. This guy here is a treble clef. He tells us that we are going to be playing with our right hand. We will learn about the left hand in a later video. Now remember, our staff and our musical apartment come together. Do you remember what that looks like? How about now? Remember, Mr. Everybody lives on the bottom floor, so his note will be on the bottom line. Mr. Everybody also rents his apartment out to 4 other boys, and his apartment is haunted, and the ghosts live in the spaces between the floors. Now, Crazy Cat and Dumb Dog live in the basement, so they will be below the staff or below the apartment building. Last video that we had, we learned that Mr. Everybody lives on this first or bottom line. This is what his character looks like, but remember, when we have a note, any note that's on the bottom line, today I'm using a whole note, will represent Mr. Everybody. This note will always be an E for everybody. Dumb Dog is shown here hitting his head on the ceiling, and if we look at the note looks like it's hitting its head on the ceiling too. So this note will always be D for Dumb Dog. Crazy Cat is one of the easiest notes to notice because she is below the staff and also is on that clothesline. So if we look at her note, you can see she's below the staff and the line goes through the note representing the clothesline. So we will always call this note C for Crazy Cat. Now, in Mr. Everybody's apartment, he has 4 boys that he rents the apartment out to. On the second floor, or the second line, if we're thinking about the staff, we have Good Boy. Now, Good Boy is called this because he always pays his rent on time, and he's seen helping Mr. Everybody carry his groceries up the stairs. What a nice guy. On the third floor, or the third line in the staff, we have Bad Boy. Now, just like its name says, he is a terrible, awful boy. He likes to play tricks on all of the boys inside of the apartment. One of his favorite things to do is to launch water balloons out of his window onto Mr. Everybody's head while he's trying to get into his apartment. How rude. On the fourth floor, or the fourth line in the staff, we have Dancing Duke. Now, Dancing Duke loves to dance, and he's often seen going out to dances and dancing and shaking his groove thing. That's why they call him Dancing Duke. And on the top floor, or the fifth line of the staff, we have Fudge Face. Now, Fudge Face got his name because he eats so much fudge and chocolate, he's usually seen with chocolate all over his face. How crazy. Now, when we put these boys on the staff, this is what they look like. We have E, or Everybody, on the bottom line. Good Boy is on the second line, so any note you see here will be a G. We have Bad Boy on the third line, and that is the note B. Dancing Duke is on the fourth line, and that is represented with the note D. And Fudge Face on the top is represented with an F for fudge. Now, Mr. Everybody's apartment is also haunted, and these are the 4 ghosts that live inside the apartments. On the first space, we have Funny Face Ghost. Now, Funny Face got his name because he's not like a typical ghost who likes to scare people. He likes to make people laugh. So he often is seen making funny faces at people. In the second space, we have Always Awful. Him and Bad Boy are best friends because they both like to play tricks on everybody that lives in the apartment. For example, Always Awful goes to Fudge Face's apartment when he's not home, and he turns the heat up all the way. So it's like 100 degrees inside Fudge Face's apartment. Well, you know what happens to chocolate when it's heated up. It melts. So Fudge Face comes home and finds puddles of chocolate all over his apartment. How rude. Next, in the third space, we have Cece the ghost. Now, Cece is this cute little Mexican ghost who only speaks Spanish. And so people go up to him and say, "Hey, what's your name?" And he doesn't understand what they're saying, so he just goes, "Sí, sí," which means yes, yes in Spanish. And finally, in the last space, the fourth space, we have Eerie Ghost. Now, Eerie Ghost loves to scare people inside the apartment. And so he goes around and he goes, "Eee," and tries to scare everybody. So that's why his name is Eerie Ghost. Now, if we take these ghosts and put them on the staff, you have Funny Face Ghost, which is the first space, and that note would be F. Always Awful is on the second space, so for Always Awful, we represent it with an A. Now, CC Ghost, we know that in the previous slide, CC was spelled the Spanish way with yes, yes, C. But if you think about CC, doesn't it sound like the letter C? You get it? So any note that's on the third space is going to be a C for CC. Finally, we have Eerie Ghost. And remember, Eerie says E to try to scare people. So we represent Eerie Ghost with the letter E in the staff. If we take all of our characters now and put them on our apartment building, this is what they would look like. What a full apartment. We have Crazy Cat and Dumb Dog who live in the basement. Mr. Everybody on the first floor, Good Boy on the second floor, Bad Boy on that third floor, Dancin' Duke dancing away on the fourth floor, and Fudge Face on the top floor. And don't forget about our ghosts. Funny Face lives in between the first and second floor, so he is in the first space. Always Awful is in the second space. Cece is in the third space, and Eerie Ghost is in the fourth space. If we take our characters and we put them on the staff, this is what they look like. Now, their names represent the letters that are on the staff. Remember, Crazy Cat, C. Dumb Dog, D. Mr. Everybody, E. Funny Face, F. Good Boy, G. Always Awful, A. Bad Boy, B. Cece is a C. Dancin' Duke, D. Eerie Ghost, E. And Fudge Face, F. Now for the yellow belt, you will only need to know the first 5 characters in the story, but the rest of the characters will be helpful in your musical experience either this year in the piano lab or as you get older. So if we take a look at our first 5 characters, here they are on the staff in their cute little character faces. But remember, in our piano music or any other music, we will not have those cute character faces. We will have notes that look like this. Remember, any note, whether it's a whole note, a quarter note, a half note, if it's on, let's say, Crazy Cat space with a line going through it, that will always be a C, no matter what kind of note it is. So let's take a look. Crazy Cat is C. And the red number represents, do you know? Our finger number. So Crazy Cat should be played with finger 1 or our thumb. Dumb Dog, D, should be played with finger 2 or our pointer finger. Mr. Everybody, E, is played with our third finger or our middle finger. Funny Face Ghost, F, should be played with finger 4 or our ring finger. And finally, Good Boy, G, should be played with finger 5 or our pinky. Now remember, these characters and the songs in the yellow belt are for the right hand. Left hand isn't invited to the party until the orange belt. Now, it's time for you to go to your music and to pick one of the yellow belt songs and start to learn it. Good luck.